Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Sridhar Kalyanasundaram. We have Dr. Sania Mariam, who is a pediatric dentist, who has given us 2 valuable sessions on dental care in our children. And here she is present as a special guest. She is also the proud mother of 3 girls, and 2 of them happen to be premature twins. And obviously, they were born very small at 30 weeks maturity. They had a significant stay in the neonatal intensive care unit, and as it happens with premature babies, they had their ups and downs during the course. And her husband, the baby's father, happens to be a neonatologist as well. So it adds to the stress, I think. So welcome, Dr. Sania, and appreciate your coming forward to share your experience. So we'll have 2 objectives of this session. One is to go a little bit further on what the session we had with Khushbu Sanjani. I think you had watched that as well, on what tips you would have to parents of babies in the NICU, especially when you have twin babies. And the second point will be related to home management of multiple pregnancies. I mean, obviously, when we discharge the babies home, your babies were still high risk, having been born premature with sucking issues and things like that. But still, once you get to cope with those issues, you still have the day-to-day stresses you have with managing double trouble, as we call it. So however well behaved and cute they are, there is always trouble. So can you please give your tips first, and then we'll go ahead with the discussion.
Actually, tips, first of all, prematurity is something which you don't expect, which even for me, I had absolutely the best medical care, everything, but it's something which just happens. And after it happens, to cope with it is very difficult. It is definitely one of the most traumatic periods of life, but it is something which can be done. And I think as a parent, once you do it, the after effect of it is you realize that you have achieved something for your child, and you'll definitely feel proud of it, as Khushbu has said. So the first tip which I would say to any mother, especially of a preemie, is look after yourself, because if you are strong, definitely it is going to have a positive impact on your child. Eat well. You are going to be staying for a very long time in the NICU. So try to keep small snacks with you, eat well, and hydrate yourself well. Because one of the most important things you can do for your baby is you're making milk for your baby, which is protecting your child in every way possible. So for that, you need to look after yourself psychologically as well as physically. And one second important point I had was I had my mother, and because of that the stress was much lesser because I already had an elder child. So somebody was there to look after the first child. So if possible, try to definitely arrange somebody to look after your domestic responsibilities. Whatever happens in the NICU happens, but your responsibilities will definitely remain. The third tip I would say is talk to somebody who has been through a similar experience, because whatever experience other parents might have, only when you've been in that situation where you've been in the NICU looking at your child, it's a totally different scenario. And if you talk to them, definitely they will tell you that this is just a phase of life and it does get better with time. So if you can talk to somebody who's either going through a similar experience, or preferably somebody who has already been through it, talk to them. You will feel definitely that psychologically it's a big support when you talk to somebody like that. Apart from that, I agree with what Khushbu said. Don't Google, because in Google, the advice they give is not relevant for your child. It is relevant probably in general or with regards to their child. And you tend to get very imbalanced when you look at what Google has to say. So what my husband says is that's why we have doctors. They do the Googling, they get the best research, and they apply that for your child. So don't try to be your own child's doctor. There are people to do that for you. And as Khushbu said, try to be there for rounds and ask somebody whom you trust, the same doctor perhaps, the questions you want to ask. If you're going to ask different people, you might get different answers and you will end up feeling bad about it yourself. And the most important point I would say is, especially with regard to twins, is one child will invariably do better than the other. It is natural, that is going to happen. So automatically you will start comparing why this person is doing better and this child is not doing better, and that creates more of a stress for you. And this doing better thing is not only for the NICU stay, even after the child is discharged from the NICU, each child will have a different set of problems. So to be able to cope with that is very difficult, definitely. But it's something you have to agree upon, that both are different, and you have to try to treat each one separately, and not that both of them have to be the same in every aspect. As a mother, I'm sure I do that many times, but definitely I would recommend, to keep it separate. Each child is separate.
You had made a passing comment that when you walk into the NICU, you compare with the sizes of the other babies on the board, and even things like such issues which can cause emotional stress, isn't it?
When you go to the NICU, you see children from like 500 grams to 5 kilos. So when you look at the larger babies, definitely you have this feeling like, why is my baby so small or so premature? So amazingly, all children grow up and they grow big and they grow smart and intelligent and everything. So at that point of time, though it is very difficult, it moves on. We have to accept that life moves on, and you will see changes, and you will feel they have come a long way from where they were before. That feeling definitely comes.
Baby who stays in the NICU for say 2 months, for example, they will see so many other short-term admissions. A term baby may come into the NICU for just fast breathing for 2-3 days, and there may be other babies who are born 25 weeks, as you said, 500 grammars, who may stay for 3 months. So obviously, the families who have to stay longer, they see the short-term babies, and the emotional turmoil is there. I think the other important point is that pregnancy itself is a stress. When you have twin pregnancies, your body has even more metabolic changes. And I mean, when you said about the mental preparation, the mindset, you have to anticipate problems right from the beginning, because when you have twin pregnancies, you know that you have a higher chance of delivering prematurely, though we didn't expect that premature as in your case. I mean, for twins, for example, we expect 35 weeks to be the near norm. I mean, it would be lucky to go beyond 35, 36 weeks in majority of the cases. Of course, we do get term deliveries, but not common. And 30 weeks is not the norm as well. So you are an outlier, unfortunately, but fortunately now they are doing well. So you're happy. Comparison between the twins, obviously, we keep discussing that as well, that even the maturity level of the babies in the womb may be slightly different. So the way they react after birth may be different, and the milestones, they have their own personalities. We have identical and non-identical twins. As we discussed, this is a follow-up video on twins as such, and so I have presented a discussion on twins and what identical and non-identical is. So we will not go into the detail here, but when they are non-identical, they don't have the exact gene pattern. Their personality is different, their milestone, the growth trajectory is different, and the growth trajectory is also dependent on how they were nourished in the womb, whether they were getting the same supply and so on. So what you mentioned is a very important point, that you are emotionally looking at not comparing them as one. And same happens with siblings. I mean, even if you don't have twins, if you have an older sibling, and we always tend to compare, I don't know, you have your sister with you, so I don't know if your parents used to compare you with your sister, but it used to happen in my family, where parents always compare you with your siblings' performance, and one of us feels bad for whatever reason. And you mentioned about one of them invariably doing better, but that's not always the case, because it may happen that one of them does well for a period of time and you're happy, and then the second one who was doing not so good starts picking up, while the one who was doing well starts going down a little, especially if they are more premature. We tend to face this often. So don't give too much weight to short-term fluctuations as long as the long-term goal is being achieved. Don't give too much importance to asking the same question to every doctor or nurse in the NICU, as you rightly pointed out. That will disappoint you, because not everyone will put the information in the same way. The way you look at life, the approach, I mean, the positive approach versus the not so positive approach, it will confuse you. So each person has a slightly different communication style, and so you pick the person who suits your style, and then you persist with them. That's very well said as well. In terms of managing at home, I mean, you said your mother was here with you and she's already experienced. Do you have any specific tips on how you can rest at the same time, look after them well?
We have been trying right from the beginning to get them onto a schedule, like you feed them together and you make them sleep together. It's in the early stages, it's very difficult, definitely. But as far as possible, we have to try, because you need to take rest too. Unless you take rest, definitely lactation is going to be affected. Your stress levels are going to be high. So try to enlist a few trusted people to be there for you when you need them. I had my mother, and me and my husband used to do like night shifts. Like, you sleep for 4 hours and you sleep for 4 hours, so that each of you gets sleep. So what I would say is, if you can get a few people to help you out, try to do that first and foremost. Feeding, you can't, initially they were not able to feed directly, so we had to give them through a bottle. So when you're giving it through a bottle, definitely you can get the help of others. But if you're slowly going to shift them to direct feeding, try to see if you can do tandem feeding or not. And even in the NICU, I would recommend spend as much as time possible with your baby with skin to skin contact. You might have, because they are twins, definitely you're going to be splitting them up, like half you're trying to do. But that point, that period which you're spending with skin to skin contact, you will never ever regret, because you are contributing in a positive way for your child's well-being. And I would also suggest that if lactation support is possible, that is, you can talk to some lactation consultant and get ideas on how to pump specifically for twins, premature twins, or how to nurse some babies who are not able to suck properly. Try to get that, because we found it very, very helpful, as one of our twins had a problem with sucking. They were not sucking at all. But slowly, with persistence, I would definitely say it is possible to change them. You can teach babies to learn to suck, and for that to get external support is a definite requirement, I would feel.
In terms of looking after yourself and your rest pattern or outings and things like that, when did you start really thinking about yourself? The first 2 months just go off, you'll be haggard and tired, isn't it?
I think it takes around 6-7 months, when they start sleeping for longer period of time. You can start thinking. Initially, we were at home because of them being premature. Then, because of this COVID-19, again we are at home. We haven't stepped out of home for 9 months now, I think.
7 months sounds like a very long period. Thank you. I mean, you have anything else to add? I mean, it was very helpful. And the growth comparison, we mentioned about the development, but the growth as well, it's same measures apply, isn't it? So I saw the recent pictures and they're doing amazingly well and playing actively, approaching their birthday very soon. So congratulations to both of you and to the elder sister as well. And thanks to your mom for all her great selfless support. So in terms of any other tips to the parents of twins before we close this?
Specifically premature twins, I would say, like, it's very difficult, especially in an Indian scenario, to keep visitors away. They don't really understand what your child and you have been through. But if you tell them frankly, like, my baby is premature, they're at high risk for infection, I think you should be able to achieve that. One of the biggest compliments I've got is, before, when they were premature, we had to use sanitizer to touch them, but now they are so roly-poly and active that after touching them, you have to wash your hands. They are so dirty. So I think that it shows how much of changes are possible. So what I would say to every preemie parent is, don't lose heart. This period of time is definitely difficult. It's very hard to take it psychologically, but when they grow, you will feel really proud of what they have become. You will really see the change, and it's much more than full-term babies, because you've seen them so small. So hold on. If you need to talk to somebody, definitely talk to somebody, but it will get better. Definitely it will get better.
It's not just the time spent, it's the emotional cost of it, the financial stress that may come out. It impacts the whole family. The older siblings may be affected. I think your daughter was a bit upset after the twins came. So it's not just one thing. And so don't hesitate to seek out help, because postpartum depression is not uncommon, and mothers should be able to recognize and seek help in time for that as well. So thank you for raising that point as well, and really appreciate, and it was a lively discussion, and I'm sure this will benefit parents of not just the premature twins, for any twins, and it obviously tells us that bringing up babies is not a joke. So it doesn't happen as easily as it used to in our parents' days, or maybe they made it appear easier. So thank you, Dr. Sania, for your participation, and thank you, and Dr. Nishad, for being such lovely parents as well, supportive for the team, and God bless you. Thank you.